Today is the 25th of January 2024, and this will be our 39th video on some possible questions. Okay, we've been looking at the past papers. Thank you everyone who has subscribed to our channel. Okay, I really appreciate it a lot. And thank you to everyone who is me sharing, liking, and following the platform. Okay, thank you so much. And if you don't have an account, please ask somebody to help you have your own account. And if you are using somebody else's account, please ask permission from the account holder, okay, before you subscribe. In the comment section, I normally write, please follow my notes / scripts. Okay, it's very, very important. So like this is 18. So if you hear me say 7, it's not 7. If you hear me pointing here and I'm saying 7 instead of 18, please go by the notes. Beware of scammers, please. Don't be scammed. Okay, beware. Recap. Watch last video for recap. Okay. Now, starter. Today I have a proportion and a ratio question for you for the recap. This one you are not allowed to use the calculator because they are figures you can easily do. Okay. Divide 1,800 in a ratio of 5:6:7. Okay, so you have 1,800 pounds, and this is the ratio. Okay, so first of all, you need to add these ratios, and when you add them, 5 add 6 is 11. Add 7 is 18. Okay, so the total ratio now is 18. So now we want to divide the 1,800 into 5, 6, and 7 portions. So 5 will be 5 over 18 times 1,800. Okay, 80 will go to 1,800 100 times. 100 times 5 is 500 pounds. Okay, 80 will go into 1,800 again 100 times. 100 times 6 is 600. 80 will go into 1,800 100 times. 100 times 7 is 700. So 1,800, you can divide it as 500 pounds is to 600 pounds is to 700 pounds. Okay, now what we just did, somebody in primary school, year 6, upper primary, can do it. So that's why you wouldn't need a calculator to do this kind of work. Okay, it's like mental maths. Okay, now let's look at our second starter. The ratio of boys to girls in a class is giving us 7:8. Okay. What is the ratio of the class? What fraction of the class are girls? Okay, you don't need a calculator here. The ratio is 7:8. So the total ratio is 15, 7 and 8. Okay, you can easily do that without a calculator. Now, the girls are 8, their portion is 8. So the girls' fraction will be 8 out of 15. And then the boys' fraction will be 7 out of 15. Now, if you add both fractions, you should get 1. The numerator for the girls is 8, and the numerator for the boys is 7. So 8 add 7 will be 15. The denominator is 15. So 15 over 15 will give you 1. Okay. You don't need a calculator for this. Now today, we are looking at the higher paper, non-calculator. Okay. So a field A is a rectangle with size 30 meters by 70 meters. So that is field A. They gave you the diagram. It's not to scale. So 70 meters by 30 meters. Yeah. Field B is a square with the same perimeter as field A. What is the perimeter? If you walk around the field and you put them together, the length and the width of A, okay, that is the perimeter. So assuming you walk from here to here to there and back there, that will be the perimeter. So it's length added together. Now they are telling you that the perimeter of field A will be equal to the perimeter of field B. Okay. How much bigger in area is field B than A? And you have to show working. You can't just do guesswork here. Okay. So I'll show you what I did. So I did field A in a column, and I did field B in another column. I have more information on field A, so I'm going to start solving with field A. Okay. Now the perimeter of field A will be 70, add 30, add 70, add 30, all in meters. So if you do that, okay, or you can do 2 times 70 add 30. 70 add 30 will be 100. Multiplied by 2 is 200. Now this is a non-calculator paper. You don't need a calculator to do this. Okay. So the perimeter of field A is 200 meters. Okay. Now, after finding the perimeter, I went on to find the area of field A. Okay. The area of field A is length 70 meters by width. Okay. It's in meters, not in centimeters. 30 by 70. Okay, 70 by 30 will give you 2100 meters squared. That will be the area of field A. Okay, 7 times 3 is 21. You have 2 zeros. You can all do that. Okay, now we are going to use the information we have from field A to help us solve field B. Okay, now field B now has the same perimeter. So if the perimeter of field A is 200, then it means we are going to divide 200 into 4 parts because a square have 4 equal parts. So it means field B is 50 by 50, 50 and 50 to get a perimeter of 200 meters. So now we know the one side and two sides of the square field B. Okay, so now to find the area of field B is 50 times 50. 5 times 5 is 25. Then you add your 2 zeros. The unit is meters squared. Okay, so now we've established that field A and field B has the same perimeter, but the area of field A is 2100 meters squared and the area of field B is 2500 meters squared. Okay, so now the question is asking us how much bigger in area is field B than A. So we need to look at the areas. Field B is 2500 meters squared. Field A is 2100 meters squared. So when you subtract here, you have 2500 minus 2100, which will give you 400 meters squared. So field B is bigger, 400 meters squared, than field A. Okay, so that is basically what we would, that will be our answer. Now, this is also a higher non-calculator paper. Okay, now the first 5 terms of a linear sequence, we've done videos on sequences, please go back and look, are 9, 15, 21, 27, 33. 3 dots meaning it can go on and on and on. Okay, find the nth term. Okay, how do you find the nth term? First, you need to find the difference between the first term, each term, and we can see that 9 add 6 is 15, add 6 is 21, add 6 is 27, add 6 is 33. Okay, so you can, is the rule here is just add 6, but we can't continue adding 6 because we'll do it forever. Okay, so there's something called the position to term rule, okay, which will help us find the nth term. So for instance, what do we need? Our first term here is 9. Okay, so we know that our first term is 9. The difference is 6. So the first term is 6n, where n equals 1. Okay, now 6 times 1 is 6. What do we do to 6 to get 9? We add 3. So now the nth term, or our position to term rule, becomes 6n plus 3. So assuming they ask us to find the 40th term, n will be 40. Okay, so 6 times 40, add 3. Okay, 6 times 40 first before you add 3. Now you can do this on the calculator, because 6 times 4 is 240. Add 3 will be 243. Okay, so just by deducing 6n, add 3, you can find the 40th term, you can find the 100th term, okay, you can find the 2001 term. You don't have to just sit down and be adding 6. Okay, and if you apply 6n plus 3 here to all the terms you've given, it will give you the figures below. So for instance, n equals 1, so 6n is 3, add 3 will be 9. N equals 2, 6n, n is 12, add 3 is 15. 6n equals, n equals 3, so 6 times 3 is 18, add 3 will be 21. N equals 4, so 6 times 4 is 24, add 3 will be 27. Okay, n equals 5, so 6 times 5 equals 30, add 3 will be 33. So if n equals maybe 1000, so you want the 1000 term, so 6 times 1000, which will give you 6000, add 3. So you get 6003. These are things we call them mental maths. You can easily do it without a calculator. Okay. So this is what I came to show you today. Okay. Thank you so much for so let me quickly go over what we did. We did a starter, which is a ratio, and then I quickly did a ratio question where we know the fraction of boys to girls, and then we did a rectangle and a square question which involves perimeter and area. And then we went ahead, look at the sequence question, which we deduce the position to term rule. I mean this position to term rule. Okay. And we've done videos on this, we've done status on this. So if you don't understand, just go back and watch it. Okay, so I went ahead with that question. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today and please subscribe, share, like, and follow. And thank you to everybody who is helping spread the word. Okay, thank you for joining me in today's video, and I'll see you in the next.